Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I know it's been a while and I apologize. I've been extremely busy and definitely got some updates to let you all know. Not the really good weather outside right now, pretty rainy, so I've got something I want to do inside the house that I've been meaning to try to do this for a long time. So we have a problem with hard water in our house. Then the lime scale kind of builds up on your faucets and your shower heads and stuff like that. I didn't really want to buy the whole salt water softeners or the other chemical systems. I did find this online. This is an electronic water conditioner. It's not a water softener, it's a water conditioner. So it's a scale blaster water conditioner, and the model number is SB75. I purchased this, I believe, online, and they usually run for about a couple $100. So pretty much, all in all, what it really does is that you'll plug this into a regular 110 outlet. You'll have a wire coming out of here. It's going to get wrapped around your main water pipe coming into the house real tight. And then the other end of the wire goes back, and supposedly it's supposed to send some type of frequencies through that wire, and it breaks up the chemical composition that makes the lime scale. So it does not remove the hard water or the calcium. All it does is that it prevents it from building up, keeps that chemical compound broken up. This is the owner's manual right here. I'm just going to read a couple of key points and everything. You can use it on just about any types of pipes, copper pipes, PVC, CPVC, and PEX pipe. So like I said, this is the SB75. There's different models and stuff. This one right here will handle the water hardness levels up to 19 grains per gallon or 325 parts per million. As far as the square footage of the house, this one will handle up to about 4,000 square feet. You can, if you don't know what your grains per gallon is or the parts per million is in your water company might be able to tell you, but also you can probably do a water test, and you can probably take that water test sample probably to like a pool place and they can test it, or you can just buy the little kits. I think they're pretty easy to do and they're pretty cheap. There's a couple of key points in here. Just want to read out to you. This is not an overnight process. They said it could take up to a couple months for it to start removing the lime scale that's built up in your pipes and the faucets and your shower heads. One question here in the owner's manual says, will scale blaster lower the water hardness level and total dissolved solids in the water? So like I said, it says no. The water hardness level and total dissolved solids will remain the same. Scale blaster is a water conditioner, not a water softener. Water softeners remove the calcium from water. Scale blaster does not. Calcium is good for our metabolism. So like I said, that's all it's doing. It's sending some type of frequency around the wires, and it's just breaking up the chemical composition. So the lime scale doesn't have time to build up in your pipes or on your shower head or your faucets. You do have to install this on a straight portion of the pipe. It says it does not recommend getting it too close to an elbow or T or something like that. And mainly the main water line coming into the house. It's got pretty easy instructions. It shouldn't take too long and everything. And I think since it's plugging into a regular 110 outlet, I don't even think it hardly uses any electricity. So you're probably not going to see a difference on your electric bill. Now it does say here, as far as if you have copper pipe, you have to double wrap it. You have to wrap it one way, and I believe you have to go back the other way, but I didn't really read that because I don't have copper pipes. I have PEX pipe. So it has a chart in here for different diameters of your pipes. Will tell you how many wraps you have to do and how long the whole wrap should be total. So I'll have to measure my PEX pipe down there and see how many wraps I have to do and see how long the total wrap should be. Sorry. And I think that's pretty much about it. So let's go downstairs close to the water heater, and we'll go ahead and I believe I'm going to mount this on a piece of 2x4, and then I'll attach the 2x4 onto the studs of the basement wall. And the water heater is really close to this, so I will have no problem as far as distance and stuff like that. So let's go downstairs and see what we get. Okay, down here in the basement, so here's the water heater right here. Obviously the blue pipe, that's the cold water coming in. So I got my outlet right here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of 2x4 between these studs. Then I'll mount the main device there. And then I think I'm going to wrap it on this section right here. I kind of wanted it up here on this section up here. So this water coming out, going through this valve, going outside would be affected, but got too much going on with the air handler stuff right there. So I'm just going to mount the main device right here, and then I'll just come straight over and wrap it through here. Alright, got the 2x4 up. Guess we'll go get the main device and go get that mounted to it. And probably the hardest part, and which really not that hard, will be wrapping this. So. Alright, I think I got all my tools down here. There's one thing I do want to say before we start doing this. This is the back part of a house. The front part of the house, that wall is where the actual main water supply comes into the house. Preferably, that's where it needs to be installed at. But the basement is not finished, so I do not have any receptacles on that end where I can plug this in at. So if I can tell here in a couple months that it is helping, once we finish the basement and everything, and I get receptacles on that side of the basement, I will probably buy another one and just install it on there. The reason why is because when the water comes through about halfway through the basement, it splits off, and that's the cold water supply for the house. So preferably it needs to be installed right when it comes through the basement wall. But for the time being, I think this will at least help out some of the issues with the lime scale deposits on the shower faucet and stuff like that. I will show you a picture at the end of this video of what it looks like now. Then I'll give an update in here in a couple months and see if it changes. So I'm gonna go ahead and mount this device, and then we'll start wrapping this. Apologize, the air just kicked on, so hopefully I'm talking loud enough. Okay, so here's the wire. You start with the stripped end first, and there's little 2 wire ports underneath here. The instructions manual says it doesn't matter which one you put it in. It just said that you definitely want to try to twist the wires so they kind of stay together. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and measure this pipe so I can get an idea how long this wrap is going to be. So it looks like I will have to be wrapping it twice over on top of each other. I will need 38 wraps on each layer, and it should be almost 4.5 inches in length. Okay, so I cheated here a little bit and kind of ignore what the instruction manual said. So the size of my pipe says that you're supposed to, this first layer is about 4 inches, and then the second layer should be on top of it. But I fought with this thing and fought with it and fought with it, and got so frustrated. Obviously I had to turn the camera off and everything because it was starting to die. It was just so hard to keep this second layer nice and tight without it getting sucked in to the first layer. You could fix it a little bit, go back and do a little bit more, and then would do it again, and you go back, and it was just taking forever. So what I did was I just did what it recommends for the next size pipe up for mine, and that's a 1 layer. And you gotta realize I really don't have the best setup here because I got this pipe here. So and they give you so much wire, and you can't really cut it off because you don't know until you get done at the very end, and you know where to cut it off. So when you're wrapping this up, you got all this wire, all this extra wire that you're trying to get feed around those pipes, and it's just a pain in the butt. So anyways, those 2 wires go into the unit right there, and this is your main power wire right here. And the instructions manual, it says that you should have a green light all the way to the right, continuously on, and these lights right here are going back and forth, and that shows you that it's working. So let me show you what our faucets and our shower head looks like right now, and then here in a couple months I'll show you those and see if there's any difference. Okay, so here's the shower head. As you can tell, there's a little bit of a build-up around there. We actually cleaned the shower head probably about a week ago. We used some vinegar and water. So let me show you what the faucets look like. Alright, so here's one of the master bathroom faucets. So it's building up right here and right here on this ledge. Let me show you what our tub faucet. Okay, here's our tub faucet right here. You can see the buildup in right there. We actually tried to clean that off about a week ago. It looked a little bit worse, but that's probably about the best we can get it. Alright, so anyways, if you like these type of videos, make sure you subscribe, comment below if you got any questions, hit that like button, and stay tuned for a lot of updates as far as the yard progress and stuff like that. And we will see you next time.